Welcome, guys. It is 1:09 p.m. here in Florida. And I'm going to be hanging out with you guys for probably, I don't know, I'm going to say 30 minutes, maybe to an hour. We'll see. Just put my daughter down for a little nappy nap. Yesterday, I was going to stream yesterday afternoon, but she did not nap yesterday. So here I am. She's down probably for 2 hours. And I'm going to be hanging out with you guys for a little bit of that time. So welcome one and all. Hope you're doing well on this Wednesday. Swishfish sent a super chat over before the stream even technically began. Swishfish says, hey, happy Wednesday. Hope you and the kid are good. Yeah, man, we're good. So happy Wednesday right back to you. We kind of got into a routine over the past, I actually looked back to, basically, I've been running okay, here's my routine. Here's our routine since March 26th is when I started this routine. March 26th. So almost, what's the date today? So I mean, like a month and a half. All right. So I either wake up at 4:30 in the morning and then run 4 miles, or I wake up at 5 in the morning and do dumbbells. And then if I do dumbbells at 5 in the morning, I run with my daughter 4 or 5 miles, and there's a park in between that time. So that's what we did today. So that's our routine now. She seems to really love it because I give her a ton of snacks while I'm running. And we get to go to a park. Today was a 5-miler. So
just dropping in to show some support. Stream is going great. Me and a bunch of pals grab a couple of beers, play some Battlefront, and talk Star Wars.
Nice.
It's got a best of the worst kind of vibe.
And Shot First, thank you so much for the channel support, man. I greatly appreciate that. Give me one sec. I'm gonna have to subscribe and check that out. That sounds kind of right up my alley. I wish I had I wish I didn't move an hour away from the city. And now live super far away from even some friends that I had in the city. And most of my best friends either live like way far south in Florida, or up in Minnesota, up in Boston area, up in Philadelphia area, and now in Chicago area. So like all of my best friends are all scattered all over the wind now. But I love that. Give me one sec, Ant. Give me one sec. But so yeah, Swish. That's kind of our routine now, and I've been doing that since March 26th. Since I've done that, I've always enjoyed running. It's kind of something that it's one of the only exercises that I've thoroughly enjoyed running or doing. It's always been a head game. You know, if you can run 2 miles, you can run 4 miles. I think running most of it is in your head. You just keep pushing, right? And I enjoy it. So I have already noticed a huge difference, dude, just in a month and a half. I've lost about almost 15 pounds. I've knocked out about 2 notches on my belt. And down a pant size, I could go a little smaller, and it's kind of crazy. At the same time, I'm doing dumbbells, and I'm already seeing a difference. So, like, you know, it's turning a corner. Actually have some goals set for myself come January. Kind of a thing that I've always wanted to do after I got out of the Navy, but I never pursued it. It's a career, and I'll tell you guys about it when the time comes. But yeah, anyway, I appreciate that, Swish. Get on it, guys. Anybody can do this shit. Ant Shot First, thank you so much for the channel support. Ant Shot First says, hey man, just dropping in to show some support. Stream is going great. Me and a bunch of pals grab a couple of beers, play some Battlefront, and talk Star Wars. It's got a best of the worst kind of vibe. Like I said, man, that sounds right up my alley. For whatever reason, I'm not able to click your name and just go to your channel like I used to be able to. So I am just going to copy paste and then go to the channel and make sure I have it pulled up. Let me turn off the audio. 6 days ago. Oh, weird. So you don't have any content on your homepage, and I don't know if you know that. So yeah. So go to your channel, your homepage, and you can edit what looks like, what your channel homepage looks like. If you want to change that up and create like a, I don't know, some kind of homepage video, you can do that as well. Battle of a live stream with Star Wars. How's it going? Nice, man. This is awesome. That kind of sounds right out my alley. But yeah, maybe next time I go on a little run tomorrow, I'll fire some up. But that's what it's all about, man. Having fun, shooting the shit with your buddies, and playing some games or talking some Star Wars, right? But as soon as my YouTube studio isn't working right. Gotcha, man. So if anybody curious and wants to check out these streams, these are like he's got some 3.5-hour streams on here. That is a lot of gaming. So check it out. But I appreciate that, man. I hope everything's going well, and keep it up. It's fun. And Carter Lovejoy, since you live in Florida, have you been to the Clearwater Marine Aquarium in Clearwater with a dolphin that has the prosthetic tail? You should take baby Greedo there sometime. It's awesome. No, golly, I don't think I've ever been. Well, I definitely haven't been to that aquarium. Yeah, I definitely haven't been to that aquarium. I'm trying to think what aquariums I've been to in my life. Not very many. I've been to like the Atlanta Aquarium. I've been to the aquarium in Gatlinburg, Tennessee, which is such a weird place to drop in an aquarium in like the middle of, I don't know, like a Daytona in the mountains where everybody just wants to get drunk and go to Bubba Gump Shrimp Factory. And then SeaWorld years ago. Last time I've been to a SeaWorld park was like 2007. Yeah. But no, I've never been. Carter, I take my daughter to, well, I used to take my daughter before it closed down, but I used to take my daughter to the Jacksonville Zoo at least a couple times a month, before all of this popped off. I believe the zoo is opening up. If it's not already open, I think it might already be open, but yeah, man, it's, you know, I love taking her to the zoo. She shows, a lot of interest in it. I let her just kind of wander around like the gorilla exhibits and whatnot. And, yeah, she enjoys it. Plus we get some Dippin' Dots ice cream and of course some chicken tenders. But yeah, man, that kind of stuff is what I like. You know, we like taking our daughter to do. We like doing outdoor stuff. We like, going to the zoo, you know, going to these big parks and having her play outside. She likes digging in the dirt. That's kind of, you know, I like that. It's fun. But anyway, I appreciate that, Carter. Thanks, man. But I've never taken her. No, never taken her. So, oh yeah, so I actually, I've been reading Alphabet Squadron, but for the past week or so, and I just or maybe like it's been 3 weeks probably, and I've barely cracked like the second chapter, and it's not because I haven't liked it, it's just because it's kind of difficult for me to once my head hits the pillow, I'm out. I'm not one of those kind of people that just kind of like sits on their phone in bed. I am once I am in bed, it's maybe 15 minutes of a show, and then I'm gone. I'm in dreamland, and that's include like reading a book. If I lay there and try to read a book, I'm just dozing, man. So, what I did, I downloaded Audible on my phone. My wife listens to audiobooks on her commute all the time. She's racked up like 9 credits for books. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to listen to Alphabet Squadron as I run. So that's what I did today. And I'm already in the 40 minutes that it took me to run. That was like 45 minutes that with my daughter, I ran 5 miles. I listened to Alphabet Squadron. I'm already past where I've read in that little short amount of time. So I'm going to breeze through these books. This might be the way that I digest Star Wars books moving forward. It's just easy. It's just, yeah, I don't know. Anyway, Patrick Foley, thank you so much for the super chat and channel support this afternoon, man. Patrick says, hey, man, just chilling out in the Forest Service bunkhouse. Hell yeah. And QT had me wondering if you ever did any camping or hiking in Florida / National Forest. Yeah, that sounds like a goddamn dream, Patrick. That's one of my favorite things to do. Not so much in Florida. We've been to like Florida Caverns National Park, some places down south, but for the most part, a lot of our hiking and whatnot has been done up in the Smokies. Me and my wife did take a trip out to Utah, and Arizona. And we did the Utah Mighty 5. We went to all 5 national parks in Utah. Then we went to the Grand Canyon. We went to Horseshoe Bend. We went to Antelope Canyon. We rented an RV and spent like 10, 11 days out there just kind of hiking every place we could and setting up camp every time we got to a new destination. Yeah, man, that's my all-time favorite trip. So, yeah, that's kind of my favorite thing to do, Patrick. We both have kayaks, and before our daughter came along, we used to go kayaking a lot. Since she's been born, we've gone a couple times, and we live in a place now where it's just kind of, and my daughter's older now to where, my parents will babysit her and we'll go kayaking and stuff like that. So we try to get out there quite a bit too. So, yeah, man, that's my favorite stuff to do. I love it. I've actually debated about. I've kind of got a career path now that I've been kind of. It's been a goal of mine since I got out of the Navy back in 2011. I've never pursued it, and I'm finally pursuing it now. I just needed to kick it in a gear, and I kind of did some research. I'll tell you guys when it gets a little closer. I start in January for classes and stuff. But I've actually kind of debated about doing like Florida Fish and Wildlife Service, the law enforcement side, for a while, but I kind of went a different direction now. But yeah, man, I love it. I did one of my best friends I've known since I was like 12 years old, 13 years old. He did the entirety of the Appalachian Trail, and I picked him up from the airport in Atlanta. We drove to like Helen, Georgia, got a hotel room, and the next morning I did the first 40 miles with him, and then when we were done, when it was time for me to leave, I said bye, and he continued on. So yeah, done a decent amount of that stuff. Love it. But anyway, I appreciate that, Patrick. I hope you're having fun there. That just sounds like to me that sounds like a dream. Maybe it gets extremely boring, but yeah, man. Anyway, I appreciate the hell out of that channel support, and yeah, maybe I'll go. My birthday is in like a week, so I'm kind of wanting to go kayaking. We'll see if we can grab a babysitter, but anyway, we'll see. I appreciate that, man. When we were in the Navy, did you do exercises with any other nations? Damaz G. Not like, well, down in Central and South America, yeah, a little bit with the Colombian Navy. But other than that, not really. We were basically out west of like Central and South America, hunting drug runners, and we occasionally would come in contact with the Colombian Navy. We pulled into the Colombia port. I can't remember the name of the port, and they had their whole naval band there playing us on, and played basketball with some of the Colombian Navy guys. But other than that, nah, I personally didn't. But one of the coolest things about kind of interacting with the Colombians was their Navy, was they gave us a tour of some of the semi-submersible submarines, like drug-riding semi-submersible submarines that they've caught. And if you guys have never seen those, I didn't know they existed until I got I went on this deployment. But it's kind of neat. Like the lengths that they'll go to try to get their stuff across the ocean. They're just like almost like they look like hollowed or like giant. I don't even know how to explain it. Giant boats that kind of are mostly under the water with a little bit of sticking out at the top. Just semi-submersible submarines. They pack them full of whatever they're trying to smuggle, and then there would be one person at the front, like the helm, under the water steering this thing. It's kind of interesting, but no. Anyway. Nope. And Sully Hogs, good to see you, man. Thank you so much for the channel support. I greatly appreciate it. Sully Hogs says, my man, rumor is that Bo-Katan's in Mando Season 2. I saw that pop up on Twitter, Sully. It sounds like if all of these rumors come true, Sully, if they all come true, if Ahsoka's there, if I almost said Sully, if Sully's there, if Bo-Katan is there, and then you have Tamora Morrison there, obviously, right? If all three of these are true, is it pointing towards Rex, Ahsoka, and Bo? That's kind of a trifecta that we're very familiar with now, right? I almost think if like Bo's actually in there and Ahsoka's actually in there, I almost think that like it's more plausible that maybe Tamara Morrison is playing Rex or just another clone, We'll just have to, we'll just, maybe it's, IMAX says maybe it's a Mandalorian, a flashback. Could be. It could be a Siege of Mandalore flashback, right? Could be something like that. We've had flashbacks in The Mandalorian in the first seasons. It's possible, right? It's possible. I might actually prefer that. Maybe. Who knows? But to me, man, like I'm a kind of a broken record at this point with this kind of stuff, but the idea of just continuously bringing back characters we're already familiar with is kind of, I mean, all depending on how it's executed, right? But just the concept of bringing back the old, I don't know, it's just kind of boring to me, right? The Mandalorian just, it has been new from the jump. It's new characters, new situations, new scenarios, twists and turns and cliffhangers and just a bunch of fun stuff that we don't know anything about. And that's what's kind of fun about it to me, Not everything needs to be connected. But yeah, we'll see. You kind of have to reserve judgment until we see how it's executed. It's really tough to. But as a concept, yeah, it's kind of a shrug of the shoulders to me. We'll see. We shall see. But I appreciate that, Sully. Hope you guys are doing well over in the Discord. We need to play some games soon for sure. But apparently a Boba Fett series is in development. I hope that's not true. I feel. What's up, Stuart? I feel like that has. Oh, one sec.
Was the first time we've seen local
law
enforcement in the films. When Finn and Rose get tased for illegal parking. I'd like to see more of emergency services in the franchise. Cop show maybe.
Vince, thank you so much for the generous super chat and channel support this afternoon. Hope you're doing well, man. Give me one sec. Stuart said apparently there's a Boba Fett series. That's a rumor, that kind of has been around since Disney acquired the franchise. I feel like something like that always pops up. I'm sure, I'm sure they've thought about it. I'm sure they've thought about a million different ideas out there. Maybe, I'm sure there's no question in my mind that was one that did come up, but I doubt it at this juncture. Maybe in the future, we'll see, but it just, even that doesn't really interest me that much, right? I don't know. Vince Wynn, thank you so much, man. I greatly appreciate that. Vince says, think TLJ was the first time we've seen local law enforcement in films. When Finn and Rose get tased for illegal parking. I'd like to see more emergency services in the franchise cop show, maybe. Is that the case? Nothing like that in... Yeah, it was almost like casino security, right? I guess, yeah, I guess, what are those characters actually considered? Let's see. The Last Jedi Cops. Let's see what comes up. Canto Bight Police Department. That is literally what this is called. Okay. Canto Bight Police Department was the law enforcement of the casino city, Canto Bight, in the planet Cantonica? I don't think I've ever heard that said out loud. The CBPD was broken into a uniform branch in the Canto Bight Mounted Police. Notoriously corrupt. Every law and regulation in the city was negotiable depending on the wealth of the suspect or the accuser. Of course. Yeah, that's interesting. I've never really thought about that before. Let's see. Law enforcement. I clicked law enforcement in Wikipedia. Naboo Security Force. We have the Naboo Security Force, I suppose. Is okay. Other than volunteers, Royal Security Force on the planet Naboo. I guess they're technically considered a law enforcement thing. So put down rebellion like a lawful insurgency. Did play law enforcement? Yeah, but it's kind of it almost seems like a mixture of military and police, which is kind of like the real world. Interesting. So, yeah. When I first saw those cops on Canto Bight, I assumed they were kind of like, just like security of the casino, right? Interesting though, and one of the first thoughts I had was that they were probably super corrupt, like the Wikipedia says. I wonder where they get that from. I'm sure some book or whatnot, but interesting. Yeah, that kind of stuff would be fun. I would assume that, and I don't know any of the canon behind like law enforcement or local law enforcement when it comes to Star Wars, but I would assume that a lot of planets, once the Galactic Empire took over, a lot of planets like personal security stuff, a lot of their military, a lot of their law enforcement was kind of dissolved and replaced with elements of the Empire, right? A sworn allegiance to the Empire. I would assume that. I guess. And anybody that resisted that basically became a part of their rebellion, right? But yeah. Anyway, I appreciate that, Vince. I'd like to see that too. It'd be fun. I guess when the Empire exists, there's structure. When it doesn't, I don't know. I don't know. Even if that structure is complete oppression, it dissolves. And I guess you need some Canto Bight cops. Huh? But anyway, interesting. Let's see. Super thirsty. Oscar Rodriguez, thank you so much for the channel support. With Boba Fett being a blank canvas in the movies, it could give Mandalorian writers liberties to expand the character, maybe fundamentally change him. I mean, obviously the future of Boba Fett to change him post Return of the Jedi, if they're deciding to kind of resurrect him. But there's a decent amount of canon when it comes to Boba Fett. Obviously, in the prequels, we see little kid Boba, and then we see him a little bit sprinkled here and there in the Clone Wars. But a post Return of the Jedi Boba Fett, or even Yeah, I mean, I guess there's a lot of wiggle room there with Fett as a character, and that's I would assume that seems like the same case for a lot of characters, right? I don't think Boba Fett is unique in that sentiment, but yeah, there's a lot of liberties to expand the character, no question about it. In the same way that like they expanded on Darth Maul in the Clone Wars, right? Where would they go with Boba Fett if he actually is going to be in The Mandalorian? I have no idea. Just the idea alone kind of gives me a big shrug of the shoulders. I would rather them kind of explore unexplored territories with characters, and I don't want them to continuously bring characters on board that we're already familiar with, right? But hey, I mean, The Mandalorian has been great so far. A lot of the same people involved with the Clone Wars are involved in The Mandalorian, obviously. So there's going to be connections. I was kind of hoping there wasn't going to be overt on the nose connections. And a lot of wiggle room. I'm sure if Boba Fett's going to be in there, they're going to do something fun with him. Will we like it? We'll see. But anyway, Oscar, I appreciate that, man. I mixed Oscar and Rodriguez together. Rosker. But anyway, I appreciate that. We shall see. We shall see. Sister and Grand Inquisitor. Yeah, Grand Inquisitor. Let's see. Why did the human officers in the Republic turn on the Jedi that didn't have an inhibitor chip? I think they did. Yeah, I'm pretty sure all the... Yeah. Yeah, I'm pretty sure... The officers didn't have inhibitor chips? I would have assumed they did. I mean... We saw officers turn. I don't know. Daniel Ambrose, good to see you, man. I was supposed to get my third Star Wars tattoo today, Mudhorn's signet. But, of course, the appointment is on hold until the shop can get open. Bummer. That's, yeah, that is a bummer. I'm wondering, I'm going to look this up real quick. Where, like, if, let's see. Well, it depends on where you're at. I think Georgia is already opening up tattoo parlors. Florida, tattoo. What do I even search for? Florida tattoo. Are they open? Let's see. Tattoo artist in Florida ready to get back to work 20 hours ago. Manatee County tattoo shop forced to close while others remain open. So I have no idea when we're getting back into the swing of things. Yeah, that sucks. Maybe it gives, dude, that really sucks for you. You know what you want. And like, obviously, third Star Wars tattoo, you love it. And that's a no-brainer, right? But on like, to look at this from a weird, funny angle, can you imagine, like, the amount of, like, just dumb tattoos that were saved from people, like, that people were not able to get because of all this shit, because of a tattoo parlor being closed down for 2 months, and then they talked themselves out of getting something, you know what I mean, or realized that wasn't what they wanted to get. I guarantee, man, when all of this goes clear and we're back to business as usual, especially with tattoo parlors, I bet their business is going to be booming, just like everywhere else. But I bet tattoo parlors are just gonna have to, like, I don't know, just take only appointments, no walk-ins, because they're going to be crazy. I would think so. But yeah, it's kind of funny. But that is a bummer. Maybe, I'm sure you've done your research, but maybe just, I don't know. I'm sure you got a guy too. What's really cool is that when my wife got her tattoo for her mom who passed away a little over a year ago, the guy who did her tattoo, like, when we walked back to his room, just wall-to-wall Star Wars stuff, and I was like, shit, I'm just gonna end up talking about Star Wars this entire time, aren't I? And I did. So if I ever get one, I'll probably go back to him, but or go to him. But Yeah, we'll see. I was debating about getting something for my birthday this year. If I did, I think it would be kind of a schematic or a very simple line drawing of the LEM, the lunar lander. I don't know. Something simple. But anyway, I appreciate that, Daniel. And Oscar Rodriguez, thank you so much as well. I wonder if he has PTSD after escaping the Sarlacc. Yeah, I'm sure there's going to be some... Well, I don't know. It's Boba Fett, and maybe he escaped really easily. Maybe he was able to just get his jetpack right after everybody left and just jettison up. Who knows? I guess it all depends on how long he was down there. I still, like, the idea of him being alive is just so weird to me. I just, you know, I understand that people love these characters that I call get resurrected, you know, but from a creative standpoint, it just always feels really weird to me. But yeah, I mean, what happened, Oscar? Like, falls in. Okay, are they going to take what happened from Legends and apply it here? Maybe. That's probably what they would do. I don't really know what else they would do. Or maybe he just falls right in, and then, like, as soon as the barge blows up, you know, he just jetpacks out of there and says, "See you later." But, yeah, will he be messed up? Maybe? I don't know. That would be interesting. But Boba Fett seems like the kind of guy who would get over being, like, icky, sticky in a big monster's mouth pretty quickly. But you never know. Maybe it completely messed him up. I think he would have that from watching his dad get decapitated more than anything, right? That probably hardened him up pretty quick. But yeah. Anyway, I appreciate that, man. Oh, thanks, Samuel. I appreciate that. I like doing these as well. I usually try to do one a day. Always good to hang out.
Did you see the video sent by Mark Hamill and Lucasfilm on Facebook dedicated to the 501st and those within it who work on the medical front line? A very good tribute.
Sapity, thank you so much for the generous super chat and channel support this afternoon, man. Sapity says, hope all's well. Did you see the video sent by Mark Hamill and Lucasfilm on Facebook dedicated to the 501st and those within it who work on the medical front line? A very good tribute. I briefly saw that. When was that? Was that yesterday? I briefly saw a video that he posted, or that, I don't know who posted it. I can't remember what account it came for, but I did see Mark Hamill talking. I didn't listen to it, so I don't know. I didn't know what it was about. I scrolled past it. I'll check that out though. That's it. If there's one person that I could sit down and talk to from the cast of Star Wars, it would be Mark Hamill, I think. Just because he gets it, you know? He gets it. He's a fan's fan. That's like been his life for so long, and he just seems like a genuine nice person, you know? And you know, doing things like that, obviously, is a testament to that. And one sec.
FaceTime each clone individually to trigger the order. You'd assume it was a group text, but in ROT's commander code he execute order 66. And what if some clones put their holodecks on do not disturb? 66 probes.
Vince Wynn, thank you so much, man. Give me one sec. But Sapity, I'm going to let's see. Where did it go? Mark Hamill. Where is it? Oh, weird. I would think that it would pop up. Okay. Let's see. Where is it? 501st. I'm trying to look for... There we go. Okay, I found it. I found the video. And I will... It's 1 minute and 48 seconds long. I'll check this out after the stream for sure. But I appreciate you bringing them to my attention. I did see a little a little, not a screenshot, but a little. I saw it posted and I didn't click on it or listen to it. It was probably when I was laying in bed or something like that. But anyway, I appreciate that, Sapity. And Vince Wynn, thank you so much for the ridiculously generous super chat channel support this afternoon, man. Vince says, so did Palpatine FaceTime each clone individually to trigger the order? I'd assume it was a group text, but in Revenge of the Sith, Commander Cody execute Order 66. And what if some clones put their holodecks on Do Not Disturb? 66 problems. Yeah, and didn't he say Rex execute Order 66 as well in the Clone Wars? Yeah, it's just kind of one of those goofy things that you'll always be thinking about, you know, just I'm sure there's going to be some hand-wavy explanation, some reason for it, or maybe he did. Maybe he has a heart of gold and he actually is a good leader, and he wants to individually talk to every single person under his command, right? Commander Vince execute Order 66. Who's next? Commander Tony execute Order 66. But yeah, I would assume. Obviously, it's for dramatic effect, right? Obviously, it's for dramatic effect. But I would assume that he wouldn't even need to give that order, right? I would assume that the chip. I'm sure him saying execute Order 66 is just for dramatic effect for the audience, telling the audience what's going on. Probably didn't even need to say anything, right? It's probably something that could be triggered without any kind of verbal command. Because what if somebody accidentally said Order 66, or you know what I mean? I mean, people say shit all the time. Is every clone that hears that just going to go into like murder mode? So I'm assuming that somebody, you know, it could be executed without even any kind of verbal command. But I'm pretty. He didn't say Rex. I thought he said Rex execute Order 66. I can't remember. Could be wrong. Somebody check on that. But yeah, man, it's just one of those things. How many commanders? How many like I don't know, top tier chain of command folks were FaceTime by Palpatine? How many were there? Had to be a ton. He went through the whole list, I suppose. Stewart says, Commander Cody, the time has come. Execute Order 66. Execute Order Canon Comic. Execute Order 666. Rex. Okay, so for Rex, it was CT7565. Execute Order 66. Interesting. Okay. Interesting. All right. One of those things. Maybe I should make a video about that. A complete, stupid, dumb video. But I appreciate that, Vince. How do you become a moderator? Yeah, just people that I've recognized on the channel for a very long time, and if the way I've picked moderators is like just familiar faces, and if I don't see a moderator on, I usually just make the person that I recognize into a moderator. There's no method to the madness. Well, yeah. Caretaker Wanted, good to see you, man. Hope you're doing well. Caretaker said, Mando yells, Boba Fett, where? And hits his jetpack, and he dies in the same exact way. Oh, history repeating itself. Would he even know who Boba Fett is? Like, is Boba Fett... It's a big-ass galaxy, right? Big-ass galaxy. Is it... Oh, could we assume... What if he has no idea? I like that idea. What if, you know, Boba Fett is popular among us, the audience, but internally in the story, not every character is going to know every character, despite maybe their... Even if they do have, like, a crazy reputation among certain people. Maybe the Mandalorians never even heard of Boba Fett. You know, maybe... I like that. I like that kind of stuff, right? Where the audience knows a ton about a certain character or a certain situation or something like that, and the characters internally in the story don't know shit about it. Kind of like with the sequel trilogy, where, you know, I thought Luke Skywalker was a myth, and you know, Han Solo the smuggler, what did he say, like the general, something like that. But that kind of stuff, like a little lost history. This galaxy is so big, there's so much other shit to contend with and try to survive through. Not everybody is going to know who Boba Fett is, right? But no. What if he does die the same way? Anyway, Caretaker, I appreciate that, man. A big-ass galaxy where everyone is related to each other. Exactly, yeah. Oh, man. Yeah, Sapity. Yeah, yep. That's. I'm pretty sure that's exactly what was said and what happened, Sapity. Will you be doing any Star Wars Rebels reviews anytime soon? Love the vids. Admiral Akbar. So Admiral, I'm planning on doing, eventually I will. I'm still trying to find some time to sit down and watch the original 2003 Clone Wars animated miniseries. I might actually fire it up downstairs after this stream, and work on some stuff on the couch as I'm watching it a little bit. So yeah, we'll see. Eventually I will. But yeah, that's kind of the next thing that I need to watch is the Clone Wars 2003 animated series. That is by far the number one thing that I have been recommended on this channel by everybody, and I need to finally get around to watching it, right? But anyway, so let's see. Perfect. I said this is going to be like 30 minutes to an hour, and 45 minutes, perfect in between, right? So yeah, guys, I will probably end up streaming tonight. Yeah, I'd probably end up streaming tonight. I'm trying to think, what is today, Wednesday? Yeah, if I stream tonight, I'll probably do a little bit of Battlefront. I've actually had a pretty huge urge to actually play Star Wars Galaxies and level and skill get a character built up as like a bounty hunter or something like that, and just have a character to play and do missions on whenever I feel like firing up that game instead of just running around a cantina talking about the game, you know. Maybe I'll start that tonight. We'll see, but planning on doing a stream tonight. Stay tuned for that. It might end up being a Hangout stream. You know how it goes. I'm always in the mood for a Hangout stream, sitting back and hanging out. But anyway, guys, to everybody who supported the channel through super chats this afternoon, I appreciate the hell out of it. To everybody who hung out and just shot the shit in the chat, thanks for hanging out. To everybody who didn't say a word and just listened to my dumb voice, thanks for listening to my dumb voice. So I will see you guys tonight around 7:30 p.m. Eastern time for maybe about an hour. And if I don't see you then, I'll see you when I see you. Cool? Cool. All right. So, wherever you are on planet Earth, have a fantastic morning, afternoon, and evening. And I will catch you all on the flip side. See ya!